Welcome to the board of the Bantu. My name is Isobel and I am your local witch doctor. Yeah, the doctor of witchcraft. That's me. Welcome to the board of the Xhosa of the Western Cape of South Africa. They once roamed along the plains of what is now called Stellenbosch. They were strong, they were brave, and there's a hint of slave trading, but I'm not sure. Okay, but there's a hint. They were very strong, they were very brave. They had their land, the most fertile land in the Western Cape, and they lived in harmony as a clan. And then colonization came to them in the 1600s. They were displaced. They were called foreigners. Their women were procreated with. Many ran. Many climbed the hills because this is a valley. It's a valley. Okay? Many climbed the hills to get away from the genocide. More died and were buried under the earth of what is now known as Stellenbosch. The survivors, those who couldn't run, those who couldn't hide, those who were not unalived, were then taken to a place now called the Eastern Cape. My ancestors, they reject the Eastern Cape with their hearts and their souls. They want to go home. That is the wish of the Bantu. They want to go home. They want their children to stand on top of their bones. They want their ancestral rituals and rites to be done on top of their land. I am one. There will be another. And there will be another. So welcome to their board. Welcome to the board of the Southern African Bantu. My name is Isobel. I think I said it before. And I am their baby girl. On this new year of 2025, this is how I open the board. With a history of my ancestors and their ancestral land. This table is a mess. There are things here that you can't see, but this is my first day in front of the camera. When I'm in front of this camera, I know for real that I am now at work. So we're gonna go straight into it, guys. We're gonna do Twitch and Allison, and I'm gonna call him from the dead. And before I do that, let me just put on a timer. Because I've been sneezing a lot. It's nothing spiritual. It is simply hay fever. Okay, so when the liver issues that I have, they cause me to have allergies, right? Allergies are the worst. That's what's killing me. Okay, that is what is killing me. The allergies. Like everything else is fine, but my liver is producing histamines, and the histamines are causing me major dermal allergies, and I shouldn't be in Canada at this point. I should find a new place to live, but I'm broke. I don't have the money. I should be somewhere where there's sunshine, like California, like Botswana, because I can think about going to Botswana. I can't think about going to the other Southern African countries. But going somewhere where there is the sun for my allergies. So I'm taking a lot of allergy medicine. Thank God it doesn't make me drowsy. It's a lot, you guys. Okay, it's a lot because my liver is producing an extra ton of histamines, and while I'm on medication to work on that shit, I have to lose a hell of a lot of weight as well. So I should be going through the struggle, if I'm still alive, for like 2 years. You know, I like to be open and transparent, and sometimes it just kicks my ass. I'm not gonna lie, it kicks my ass. You know, sometimes it's hard to get out of bed. Sometimes it's hard to be coherent, but I'm getting better. The more I take my injections, the better I feel, kinda. It's weird, but true. it's a long-term thing. It's gonna take time. So I just have to chill and go with it, and hopefully one day I'll have enough money to leave Canada and go and live in California or Botswana, because really those are the only two places after traveling all over the world that I have chosen for a move, if I can afford a move. You know, I want to go walk on the bones of my ex and laugh at his ass every day that I outlived him. And I want to go to Botswana because it's a beautiful country to me, and they are beautiful people. So welcome to the board of the Bantu, and the board is now open. I'm talking too much because I haven't done this in a while. So Twitch, I wasn't a fan of Twitch. I wasn't even moved by his dancing. I am obsessed with So You Think You Can Dance. I liked his dancing. It didn't do much for me. There was a guy who danced the way I liked at the same time as Twitch. I thought it was so cute. And I also watched Allison in her So You Can Think You Can Dance, with her curly hair and her youthfulness. And at the time she was a struggling single mother, and I enjoyed her. But you know, I just thought it was cute that they got together and that they got married. But I remember looking at Twitch and asking myself, why? You know, like, not because she's white. You know, I'm an equal opportunity employer. Do not be shocked if I get myself an old white man. Okay. Okay, I'm an equal opportunity employer. That didn't bother me. I just felt like he felt he was moving too fast. So yeah, I have no bone to pick with this couple. Okay, zero bone. And this is a relationship reading with the difference that I'm calling one from the dead and one from the living. So one is coming from the right, one is coming from the left. And then they're going to come in here and then they're going to talk. I'm going to go to your questions as well, and I am going to ask your questions because, like, I'm a totally blank board except what my ancestors have been uploading in my head. Believe it or not, the Allison and Twitch story is above the California fires. In energetically, it's above the California fires. Allison is screaming like a Salem witch who is about to be executed, and the soul of this man is laying peacefully, resting. So we're disturbing him, but it's been 2 years. We can do that, and we are bringing her in. It's fire and ice, really, at this point. I must tell you, I kind of like the sound of this. Okay, because the soul groupings are just straight. My ancestors are straight up putting pictures and faces together. We will call. I haven't said anything and it's already falling. Somebody doesn't want to come and I don't care. We will call the living first, and then we will call the departed. Allison. So Allison walked in. We knew she'd be fast. Yeah, this keeps falling. We knew she'd be fast. We knew she would be fast. Okay. Allison is going. God is silencing her. This is why this is falling. God is silencing her. God is saying, be quiet. God is making it impossible for her to be heard. We are not hearing her. I hope that makes sense. We're not hearing her, people. She is saying something, but God has silenced her. She can't be heard. So anyway, besides the fact that the bitch has been silenced by God, we will go to her walking into my ancestors' waiting room. She is very energetic. She's very, very shaky. This girl does drugs. This girl smokes a lot. She smokes a lot. She does drugs. Oh yes, she does alcohol. This girl is very much into that world. She's kind of lost. She's lost some reality. Like she's not seeing her life clearly because of substance abuse, and that's why her voice is so loud. It's so loud, like a Salem witch. And I keep saying that. I don't know why, but I keep being taken to the Salem witches. I went to the graveyard, by the way, in Massachusetts, but I keep being taken there. It's like she's speaking and no one is hearing her. She is in her own prison, as it were. She says, well, the prison that people put me in. She's very, very bitter. She's very, very angry. And she misses her husband. Yeah. She says she was treated better and seen as a human being when she was his wife. With his death, all the perks fell off the table. She says she was never connected with the black community, and so they didn't hold her up when he died. She is thinking about that guy, Tyler Perry, for instance. You know, he could have given her movie roles. He could have, you know, done for her. He could have pushed her up. But because she wasn't connected with the black community, they did nothing for her. And because she was married to a black man, the white community, which should have propped her up, disappeared on her. She says that's why this time in her relationship she has made a financial move, but she genuinely loved this man. Do my ancestors concur? They said, yeah, there was love at the beginning. His gentleness really touched her to the core because all she knew was absolute brutality. That's what we're getting. Okay, so Allison is sitting in the plate. She does miss her husband for what he gave her. What did he give you? She says, well, this house, living like this, no one spends money like a black man. A black man spends money because he has no budget. He lives for today. His life is short and he wants to do it, you know, do it big, do a hurrah. You know, I had no budget. I could spend what I wanted, how I wanted to spend it. He never asked me. And he himself, he wasn't a big spender. He really wasn't. He was very frugal and left me to do a lot with his finances. That's why I know he never cheated. Okay, girl, why are you throwing it in my face? Okay, so she loved the financial freedom, right? She loved the luxury. She loved the open door policy. She said everybody would see my husband. It didn't matter who it was. He had that energy. He could meet the chief executive of Warner Brothers if he wanted to. The thing is, he didn't want to. He didn't have the gumption or the ambition. He could have been the next Denzel Washington. He could have been. I saw it. But to push him in that direction, he wouldn't do it. So I'm asking her, how did you see it? Did you see it spiritually, psychically? Did somebody say it? She said all three and more. There were hints that they wanted to move him into action, because, you know, he had the body, he had the face, and he was loved. They are always looking for a token black man. I had him in place. He had himself in place. They liked him. The liking of him had nothing to do with me. Do my ancestors agree? They said yes. They do. Okay. But she definitely misses him. Not just from a professional perspective, people, but the Mrs. part of it, and having a man and not having to worry too much about her finances and growing her own career. She knew it would take time because she didn't have the star power and she didn't have the connections. She wishes he had not left because she refuses to admit that he unalived himself. She refuses. So she wishes he had not gone. And so she's like, why did he go? Girl, don't ask me, we'll ask him. So now we don't shake the dead. Sometimes I do when I just in a mood. But we don't shake the dead. So Twitch. He says he doesn't answer by that name. Okay. Steven. He comes in as A. It's very interesting. He comes in as disembodied A. Like gray A, and then he circles his wife, and then as A, like and then he goes and he sits next to her and he puts himself together like interperson, and he says it's not her fault, you know. The world is just hating on her because she's white, talking about a black man. Ganging up on her, giving her a hard time, not understanding how difficult it was to be married to me. Did you do drugs? He says yes. Okay. He says, not the way she is saying it though. She is exaggerating. I became addicted to painkillers because of the injuries I got as a dancer. From painkillers to something stronger. Until the pain was so unbearable, I had to go. So you're saying you left because she is, just to tell you how distraught this one is, she is on her knees in my ancestors' waiting room screaming, and he is trying to comfort her. Guys, there's always more to a story. Okay, he's trying to comfort her. He says the love wasn't there after about a year. I did not love her. She's a greedy, pushy, jealous woman who's always looking at what others have and what others have not. She wanted me to work at things I was not interested in. I wasn't overly ambitious. She did create a life for me that a black woman could never have created. How do you know? He laughs. He says, I don't know. I never met quality black girls. I only met them after I was married, and by that time I had no interest. Okay. So there is, oh yes, then she gets up and she hugs him. There was friendship. There was codependency. He loved the lifestyle she created with his money. You know, his standard of how he lived, you know, the maid, the nannies, the house she picked, the way he loved that about her. He could only take her in small doses, but there were many things he loved about her. He just did not love her. He says, how could I love her? I couldn't even love myself because of what happened to me when I was young. I couldn't love myself. How could I love her? And how could she love me? She couldn't even love herself. We had a trauma bonding. We were brought together by our experiences, and we agreed without even knowing that we were agreeing that we will heal each other, make each other happy. And it didn't work. Okay. Allison and Steven, show me your life. Allison and Steven, show me your relationship. Allison and Steven. Allison is a has-been. I just heard that when I was shaking. I'm going to take this off. Her role is done. Her job is done. Literally, because I'm doing soul groupings now, literally, she was brought into Steven's life to help him get to his purpose. A purpose he rejected by unaliving himself. He says it was too hard. So when he unalived himself, her role fell off the table. Pretty much. Okay, so I am going to continue on the other side. Highly likely on Patreon, obviously not highly likely on Patreon. But before I go, I just want to say to all y'all, Happy New Year, YouTube. Happy New Year, Patreon. Happy New Year to everybody who watches me, has supported me, is always there for me, rooting for me to get up when I fall. I wish you what you have done for me. May you find courage to go through 2025 and understand that you are blessed, as in the words of a Bantu proverb. Those who are dead don't get to see shit. Those who are living are still going to be amazed. Be kind to yourselves. Be gracious to yourselves. And for those of us who are in bad health right now, let's be thankful that we're still going to be amazed. Have a great week. See you on Patreon for part 2, when we see what the winds and my ancestors in the veil have to say. This is Allison, because she's still alive, so she's to the left, and this is Steven. Kisses.